What's going on? What's going on? Oh no. I hate this. This is the Southwest for you. Me having to sneeze and not getting to. Ever. And I love sneezes. Sneezes are like a tenth of an orgasm or something like that. And I don't get them as much here. Which sucks because I need them and I like them. And so I just make myself sneeze by plucking nose hairs. And that's just like a thing that I shouldn't be doing, is plucking hairs from my body. I shaved today. You'd think I would have put on a face today, but it's just been a day. It's just a weird day. It's my last day here with Zephyr before taking off into the wild blue yonder. I have just... My heart has been filled over and over and over again, and I cannot express my gratitude. You know, it's one of those things that you just feel like you'll never be enough to thank somebody. I have a candle because AOE says that I should be more conscious about my energy and separating that from what I'm feeling from everyone else. And I realize it's very true. I've been in this whole initiation of understanding energetic boundaries in ways where like you can't give too much and you can't, you know, take too much. I guess that's like what's on the tip of my tongue. I don't know. I really don't know. I feel like all I do is take a lot of the time, and that's why I have resistance to that. Asking for help on this trip has been extremely difficult. You know, before I even had to ask for help, I just thought I've asked for help so many times. There's no way that I would, like have to keep playing out this trope of asking for help again. And, well, it's just nuts. It's nuts. But I can share here, and that's what I'm getting better at doing. Sharing who I am and how I share, how I give, what I care about. I feel every day with these lives, it gets harder and harder because what I expect from myself, from the one before, it just becomes greater. For a while, it was like, oh wow, I was so nervous, but that was remarkably easy, and the things that, happened were so perfect. And then it was like, oh, well, yesterday wasn't that great, so I need to be even better to make up for that. And now it's just like, these spirals, I am so over it. Like, I'm enough, like I do enough just by existing. I'm a human. I deserve to live and breathe and die with everything that I need on the way, And if you can't afford to bury me when I'm gone, if that's a thing, like, it's just like, what is this? There's enough. Like, people live in opulence. I live in opulence, and it's remarkable. Like, I just don't understand it. I don't understand how I am so comfortable and still so, like, stressed. Every day of my life, I am, like, overcome by my dreams coming true, and also, like, the most scared of whatever. And that is changing. Look at that. So, I need something to light this candle with. There's got to be a secret lighter somewhere. A lighter for this candle. It just seems appropriate to light this here in my parting. Hey, Bardo, good to see ya. How are you, love? I'm just lighting a candle to help me have a metaphor for creating a space and attuning to my own energy. And I started this candle at one of the lives when I first got here, so it shall end as this is my last night here in New Mexico. Tomorrow I hit the that camp life again. So if you need a card, let me know, or a number, or whatever, have a question. If not, that's fine, because yeah, goodness. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about like how I operate in that conversation I've been having about we don't really have to prove our deserving to like live and survive, and yet I constantly feel the need to. My source of feeling deserving is my perspective, and I think this, like, everyone should feel, empowered to not only share their perspective but explore other, things. Like, I feel like the whole education system has us so effed up, and this sort of, you have to have a certain sort of background and whatever to understand certain things, and it's just like you can literally like research something on the internet for a good 20 minutes to an hour and a half and probably offer a perspective that would be helpful to the field, because you're you're a separate, unique thing with a fresh perspective, not being inhibited by the people who are trapped in it and already identified with that. So I just wish everyone could feel that, and my unique perspective. I think my intelligence is like very spiritually oriented, or whatever that top layer cake of, culture is. But I feel like mine is very grounded. Like, I do have this weird, some people sort of get tripped up and they're trying to quantify that which is the unexplainable, but I relish the challenge. And I've just encountered a lot of information in my life that has allowed me to be able to explain things easily. Go ahead, let's do a card. This is my last week before my new chapter begins. Oh my gosh! Yay! So happy to pull one for you. Oh my god! Thank you. I was just talking about how I was like, I should put on a shirt or something, to look like I care, but I'll do that when I'm sleeping in a tent every night. It's like, because that's what I'll have to do. I'm a Libra, so then I'll have to like look nice to, not look nice, but I'll have to try to present myself like that, to make myself feel, in costume. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, It's the little things. I mean, who'd have thought someone like me would still enjoy being called beautiful? I know. Ah! I was kidding. God. I love being a Libra. I love that I get to love myself. So I love Leos. Like, click. Because I'm just like, I would love to know your sign. I am Bardo. I will not hold you to it. If you're a Gemini, you know what? It's a new chapter, so I'll let you do that. But I'm using the Wild Unknown Archetype cards from Kim Kranz. I bought them because diamonds, and they're circular, and I'm all about like reversals and stuff, and so I figured circular cards, I could like look at them almost like time, or where the sun is at in relation to whatever, because I like to get a little logic going there. Capricorn, wow. I just like respect Capricorns. It's like, oh my god. I had no idea. We need the hors d'oeuvres, the tea. We have a Capricorn here. Doing the hard work, honestly. I'm a Taurus rising, and I can't even. But Capricorns do, So let's see. Card for I am Bardo. Oh, I didn't say my clearing. May I see that I am all that I see. May I see that I am all that I see. May I see that I am all that I see. And I see the Bordeaux. A lot of pressure. Oh, God, I know. I mean, I'm sure. So we have the Mountain. 3 cards fell out. The Mountain, it's, sort of the antithesis to the Emperor sort of idea of this authority. People climb to the top of the mountain, then they're left cold and alone and distant from everyone else. And the jewels are pressurized in the middle of the mountain. We have the Flame, which is just, I mean, gosh. For me, this card, the Flame, God, I didn't want to get into this, but we have this twin flame lore in the spiritual community, and I fancy myself a mythologist. I think the stories that we tell and these long form metaphors that no matter what and no matter how many teachers and gurus or whatever can say please stop saying that, it's not a thing. I love to validate some twin flame bullshit. Hell yeah. And I learn something every time from each one, because what does it take for you to love someone so much that you see them worthy of being yourself, or loving yourself to seeing yourself as being worthy of also being that person? It's gosh, is there just one, twin flame forever? I have goosebumps. Is that not the question of humanity? I'm saying all this, and I probably talked about twin flames a live or 2 ago. And so then, to me, this is how we're building literally a cybernetic superstructure. And as we meet people who we vibe with, there are 2 things that happen: either an intense, friendship, love, or an intense activation, which a trigger, where we are thrown, across the world. And it's can we stay up to speed, stay conscious in those relationships to where we truly value ourselves when we meet someone like that, when we truly value other people. And, a lot of that stuff woke people up in the whole codependence versus interdependence, and the, narcissist, victim, whatever, perpetrator sort of paradigms of toxic relationships. It's if you want a twin flame, you don't get one. If you got one, it's hell. So run, be the runner. But yeah, I think that there is something so important in the stories and the metaphors that people carry in these things. You can't beat them out, and it's a good thing, because there's information being passed in our mythologies that are being spread in this cybernetic network that is happening beyond our own sort of symbology and awareness. And I'm in the middle of it. I'm traveling the country, meeting people that I became close to in the spiritual community during the pandemic, and I'm feeling this magnetic, charge, especially before the first one. And it's this thing that I recognized from the last time I had this crazy synchronistic experience of just my entire soul family imploding on myself, me destroying my life. But I'm conscious now, and I can understand myself and lots of things. So it's just it's funny. Can you be quiet, please? I'm on a live. And what was the other one? The kiss. Now look at that. I mean, come on. You can't even... So let yourself fall in love. If you have an excuse to be in love with somebody, Bardo, love them. Chase them with all your heart. Go. Love them. Fuck it. And so many of these experiences where people are engaged in relationships where they... Hey, I've only mentioned you twice already. Where people engaged in these relationships... Or they're oh my God, I'm having dreams about this person, all these synchronicities and these things, and my life is ruined. They come out of it being having expanded out of monogamy and wanting to control other, the narcissism, the codependency. There's just so much stuff. It's you met someone last night, well, go after them. And it's I feel very strongly about this because I've been single for a very long time, and I have so much freaking love to give, and it's like, me, it's just, God, it's really hard. I know, it's very difficult, but, like, if they're not ready, then they're not ready. Like, they don't deserve, or whatever, like, cool, thank you, next. It's just, like, go, and love, and be loved, and just, like, that's what we're here to freaking do. My God. I'm excited for you. It is so good. On my Saturn return, I'm in the midst of my 3-year thing, but on the day of, like, it crossed my birth degrees, I met someone so beautiful that I just, like, had forgotten what it's like to meet someone like that, and I was so insecure, and I was so, like, I couldn't get out of it, It was like I was imprisoned in my own body and unable, and I had to, like, hang out with him, and I ended up smoking weed, got super stoned, could not keep my shit together, and it's like my memory was erased every minute and a half. But I could feel everyone's energy, and then that narcissist sort of quality of making everything about myself made me, like, super paranoid and freaked out by everything that I was feeling. Whenever it's just like, afterwards though, I wasn't like, oh, I was so mad and I didn't get to meet whatever, I didn't get that close to them. It was like they were so beautiful, and I'm so glad I got to just witness that. I got to meet someone beautiful again and just, like, be in their presence, and I hope I get to do that again soon, like, with anybody who may have me. So it was just beautiful. So yeah, do that. And so there's this place of, like, authority, or this place of feeling superior, or wanting to the things, like, in that pressure of that insecurity, or in those awkward situations, is where we get, gems and diamonds, and inside the mountain, do it. I say go, explore, so many caves. Caves are magical places. Lots of things live in caves that I want to meet. Shout out to the Penny Royal podcast. If anybody's seen that, ain't seen it, it will blow your freaking mind if you could handle a southern accent for 8 episodes. So, anybody else looking at you, AOE? If you want a card, let me know. If not, I'm going to, I'm going to read this one. So we have Alethea. This is truth. What is true? Which one shall it be forever? And it's like, in the being of a truth is almost to say that there is something that could not be true. And is there a truth that is, like, I think Matt Kahn would say that the only truth is goodness. The podcast is Penny Royal Podcast. It takes place in Somerset, Kentucky. These dudes put it together. It's very well put together. It's like kind of like a documentary, but in a podcast. Very short, but it's about the green men, the little green men of Kentucky, the Hopkinsville Goblins, which I had no idea existed until last year. And I grew up in Kentucky, 30 minutes from Hopkinsville, in Hopkins County. I wrote an essay on goblins in the 8th grade and still did not know that there were goblins afoot. And apparently before Roswell, there was actually a Roswell where a craft fell from the sky, and it was, like, documented, like, newspapers and everything. Little green men were running about, and they're like, well, did they go into the caves? Did they, like, whatever? And so now, like, even since then, people have had sightings, and I mean, it is mind-blowingly fascinating, that whole ordeal, and I couldn't even begin to explain all of it, because it's just like, we're talking it raining toads, we're talking, like, secret government bases in the Mammoth Cave system, like the teacher thrown in jail for witnessing it. It's just like, I have no idea. Satanic rituals. So yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. Alethea, what is true? The tear holds this sort of it's a symbol of our larger emotional body that I believe we transmit information in our tears. I swear I've seen it. Like, I've been cold outside and, like, people hugging to say goodbye, and like little steams from their eyes, like trading. When we feel something, we, are processing that on a biological level. And just like we are drops of the ocean, the tears are little pieces of us, little treasures. And then we have the destroyer. So we might be... I felt earlier today like a wave of death is potential. It's just like been incessant, and there's no reason why the Scorpio full moon is gone that it wouldn't be. And that could just be me. I have a lot to throw to the side when it comes to personal death and the storm. So yeah, fun times. That wasn't for you. I just wanted to get those read, Miss AOE, before I pulled your card, because they fell out, and I'm a sucker for the fine details that go unnoticed. Alright. I've got a candle going, AOE, because I'm, trying to be conscious of my energy. I'm saying, little clearings to bring myself into congruence with all that I experience, right? Without so we have the village. This card speaks to me in this moment to, like, we have our job, but we also have our vocation, right? It being almost a responsibility to do something that we feel it's like we're not going to feel fulfilled until we do something that supports others. But the best way that we do that is by truly supporting ourselves. I see it as like worship is the relationship between us and work, like work relationship, worship. I just feel like when we truly surrender to reverence for ourselves, our lives, and each other, it is that complete worship. And I feel like I grew up in church, so like I'm very sensitive to people coming together and just like offering that energy up. I have goosebumps right now. You feel it return to you, and it's like an instant relay of energy. It's almost exponential how it sort of combines and expands, and I think that is the only way to build a sustainable society. We think that if people were left to their own devices, they would only be self-serving, but they would absolutely eventually realize, if not at first, that they're only fulfilled when they're a part of that, coming together at the heart fire at the end of the day. And then the hunter. It's come up a lot recently for me. The hunter, gosh, isn't that funny? Like, I'm like, what even does it mean? The hunter, for me, the hunter doesn't, we think of, he's hunting for the community. He's not just hunting because he likes to hunt. He's hunting to feed, and he's doing a job that not everyone can do, so that requires a certain, bravery, but that doesn't mean he lacks sensitivity, because it can be a very sacred thing to be a part of that cycle of life and the taking of a life, and allowing that sort of alignment of, like we just pulled the storm and the destroyer, allowing that to ourselves to be guided into those things and sharing in that. And then we have the poet, and the poet sees things that no one else can, sort of like the hunter. The poets, write the future. They change the past. Poets are the things that will last. I love poetry.
They rhyme.
You know it's true.
From
of my poems. I've written more than a few. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I hate rhyming.
Oh. Human Behavior by Bjork. That popped
Human.
in my head.
Really? I love that song.
Well, it was like the hunter hunting the bear, and the bear hunting the hunter
Oh,
back.
yes.
That's what popped in my head, like when you were saying that.
Oh my god, I can't even remember this.
Ever get close to a
Human. Oh my god, Human Behavior, Zephyr says. It's my last night with Zephyr. So, I'm just like...
You gotta dance and sing a little.
Yes, we're gonna have to dance and sing together. And, listen to Bjork. I haven't heard that song in so long. Oh my god. Human behavior. Human behavior.
I was in high school when that came out.
If you ever get close to a human and human behavior, you better be ready to get confused.
Oh shit.
Me and my hereafter. Alright, I think it's time to jump off here. We've got singing and dancing to do. Thank you for showing up tonight and being a part of this in my life. And I just, like, value you so much. I cannot believe that it was, like... I've wanted a reading for a long time. And I just, like, can't get readings because I'm always caught in that thing, you know? But... you know, it was just like perfect timing, and I like got that reading, and it was just like it meant so much to me. That like a free reading cleared so much. I hope. Well, I mean, it did. Like bringing that into awareness, like was a piece I really needed. I really did. So I just adore you, AOE, and I hope you have a lovely night. We love you, AOE. Goodbye, everyone. Going to hit that goodbye button super slowly. Super slowly, yeah. Oh, you missed. Diamonds.
I'm trying to hit.
Maybe I should make a thumbnail with a diamond.
That is a diamond. I didn't even know that.
Yes,
Wow.
that's why I bought this. And it turns out
Wow.
these archetypes are
I thought
on
those were
point.
like Rorschachs or something. So weird.
They're a little grainy.
I love it. Love it.
Diamonds are a girl's best
Paper
friend.
Paper diamond.
Au revoir. Thank you, I am Bardo. Tu es mi amor.